Hey, my name's Izzy, this is Rolling Virtual Cards, coming at you with another Magic the Gathering video. Specifically, on the future of Commander, as it says right up here. I figured I'd go through this. Let's zoom in a little bit here. You guys can read along if you'd like. I'm just going to skim through it and explain exactly what's going on. But a huge update came out. TLDR, Wizards of the Coast now owns the rights to control the Commander format. EDH, Elder Dragon, Highlander. We're going to go over exactly what that means, my thoughts and predictions of the future in this video. And talk about exactly what came, why it came up. So, announcement, this just came out today, earlier today, I think around noon. So let's hit it. I'll just read it out and then we'll go over it as we read. So the past week has been tumultuous for Commander fans, members of the Commander Rules Committee, and the Magic community as a whole. Along the way, we've seen players and fans share a diverse range of passionate opinions, far too many of which were harmful or malicious. This is literally just talking about the fact that there were threats to people's lives on the Commander Rules Committee, the Commander Rule Advisory Group, and by and large, anyone who was for the bans, against the bans, people were at each other's throat for an entire week due to 4 cards being banned. Mainly 3. One of them, no one cares. No one cares that Nadu got banned. But those 3 cards being banned and the monetary value really showed the ugly side of the Magic format. Below and over the next few days and weeks, we will be discussing quite a bit about Commander. Sorry, that was my alarm going off. But we will be over the past few, Commander, starting with the most pressing. Over the past few weeks, the conversation has escalated, culminating with unacceptable personal threats to the safety of members of the Commander Rule Committee. This is something This is something we will not tolerate, no matter how you feel about something in Magic. It is never bolded, appropriate to threaten somebody. Everyone at Wizards of the Coast is united on this front. We will not hesitate to take action against individuals who threaten to harm community members or employees. End of discussion, guys. I don't care if you lost thousands of dollars on this round of stuff. I don't care if you want to leave the meanest hate comment down below. It's easy enough to block people. But for real, grow up. It's a game. It's just a game. I've spent thousands of dollars on this game. I will continue to spend thousands of dollars on this game. It's a game I love. I know that there's a chance of losing money here. It's not a place you should just be putting all your money into. That's just not something that I would suggest doing here. And by that, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's a volatile market for Commander, and or Commander, just Magic at whole. And for me, I just play for fun. I buy cards, I buy boxes, I buy Commander decks, I buy sealed product to open with my wife. It's fun. It's exactly just the kind of thing that we do. And we know we might get some money, and we probably will lose some. But that's it. That's how the game works, okay? I do feel bad for those who lost money, though. I'll be clear about that. It's never fun to see that. I'm just saying threats are not the way to go about alleviating the fact that you just lost money. This week has also demonstrated the truly monumental task that faced the Commander Rules Committee. The Commander RC is made up of 5 talented, caring individuals, all with other jobs and lives which they must balance with managing the most popular format in Magic. It results in incredible amounts. That was my cat. No, cat, you can't do that. My cat likes to scratch on the window, which is fine when I'm not making a video. All with other jobs and lives which they must balance with managing the most popular format of Magic. It results in incredible amounts of work, time spent deliberating, and exposure to the public. Nobody deserves to feel unsafe for supporting the game they love. Unfortunately, the task of managing Commander has far outgrown the scope and safety of being attached to any 5 people. So today, I mean, that's true. There's only 5 people really making the rules, and that's just not enough for the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who play Commander. So today, in partnership with members of the existing Rules Committee, we are announcing that the Rules Committee is giving management of the Commander format to the game design team of Wizards of the Coast. That's the main thing, this big thing. Wizards of the Coast is going to control it. What does that mean for Commander? Well, number one, it's going to be based off money and less off what's good for the format. Now, there will be a split, okay? You're going to have the design teams who genuinely care about Commander, the format, and they want it to be good. They're going to be the people who really push this format to be the best it can be, and to design products specifically for it, and to think about Commander-specific cards in standard sets, and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to get from there, which we were already getting, but now it's going to be pushed even more, okay? I'm hoping not to the detriment to any other format, but not it. On the other hand, it also means a lot of pushing expensive cards in otherwise sets you don't care about, which they were already doing, but now they have more control over it. This means stuff like, oh, this is a really popular card for everyone to play casually. Cool, let's put it in this standard set as a possible pull. Oh, is this a card that won't break standard but is used everywhere in Commander? Cool, let's put it back into standard. You're going to see a lot of Commander cards being able to pull from product. A lot more than before, and I think it's going to be interesting to be able to pull cards that like are just like useful in Commander. No, I'm not a huge fan of design for Commander cards all the time. I kind of like Commander as that format where like you just play Commander and you get what you get and you build your deck. But now there's going to be those cards that you're like, oh yeah, that card's great in Commander. And they'll reprint them, and they'll have Commander only sets, and oh wait, they were already doing all this, guys. Literally, they were already doing this stuff. With the first Commander Legends, and then Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Both of those were already Commander-based sets, and they're going to continue doing that stuff. Commander's what makes them money, guys. So, it's going to continue. Commander has always been a community-focused format, and this move in management does not change that, let's hope. While ownership of the format may be changing, members of the Rules Committee and others in the community will continue to be involved, and the vision for a social format will not change. We've had some preliminary conversations already about what we would like to accomplish, and have some ideas we will be rolling out together in the months to come. Working with the community to craft this format is critical to all of us. We have opened a new Discord channel on the Magic official, or on the official Magic Discord, in the hashtag Commander News channel. And we'll also have a weekly MTG stream talking about this tomorrow, October 1st, at 10 a.m. PT. So, what does this mean? What is this all saying here? Honestly, what this is saying is that, hey guys, you can try telling us what you want, but money comes first above all else. Just don't forget that it is a company. It does want to make money, but they will listen to us. Hopefully. That's the hope. Hopefully they'll listen to us at least a little bit. Okay? I'm hoping that we get more information tomorrow. I'm excited to see that stream and see exactly what they're talking about. Other than that stream on October 1st, I mean, like, I'm hoping that explains a lot more. But yeah, mainly the big thing here is I'm hoping they don't just give all the lowest common denominator what they want. That's not what we want. And I think what they're going to be talking about here, what's next, and the examples of what they're hoping for can accommodate that, okay? So what's next? Well, this is still very early. We do want to share one of the things we've just started working on with the rules committee. A more objective approach to deck power level and additional guidance and shared language for players to find games that match the type of game they're trying to play. This is the big thing. This is what they were going to do. And here's the thing. The RC was talking about the fact that they were working on stuff with Wizards of the Coast. And I believe their plan was to roll this out maybe next year sometime. Maybe even like after this ban, like sometime shortly, they were going to do this. And they said to stay tuned. But because of all the threats they got, they just said, we can't be a part of this anymore. At least we can't be the face. Come to us, we'll talk to you about Commando, we'll talk to you about what you should and shouldn't do. You know, we'll have an advisory role, but you're gonna be the face, Wizards of the Coast, because you can hate Wizards all you want, but it's a conglomeration. You can't really threaten them that easily. It isn't anywhere near finished yet, but as part of building this with the community, we're opening up to for feedback, thoughts, and your vision of how this will look. Think of this like an open beta. Here's the idea. There are 4 power brackets, and every commander deck can be placed in one of those brackets by examining the cards and combinations in your deck and comparing them to lists we'll need community help to create. You can imagine bracket 1 is the baseline of an average pre-constructed deck or below, and bracket 4 is high power. For the low tiers, we may lean on a mixture of cards and a description of how the deck functions, and the higher tiers are likely defined by more explicit lists of cards. Okay, so before we go any further, I'm gonna break this down. So it's time for paint with Izzy. I have better drawing object options, but I'm using paint. Here's paint. So paint with Izzy. So we're gonna make the 4 boxes here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, they're not gonna look good. And then we're gonna put this little box down here by itself. Okay. So over here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C, E, D, H. Okay. Notice how they said 4 was high power, not competitive. Okay. This is why CEDH is predicted to be its own format going forward. That's probably what's going to happen. So, what does this mean? Okay. Over here, and 1. This is 2 simple things need to happen with 1. All cards 2 and above shouldn't be played. Okay. And 2, decks are built as a board state game. Okay. Those are the 2 things about tier 1. Okay. Or I guess tier 1 would be good. So I guess like rank 1, right? The lowest ranking, right? So the lowest ranking is 1. This is like, okay, we don't list cards that are good to play here. If it's not listed in 2 or higher, it's fine to be played here. Okay. Following that idea, okay, decks being built as a board state mentality. What does that mean? That means your goal is to build a board state and then win the game. Okay? This isn't about making a cool combo. This isn't about really cool, like, heavy stacksy control pieces. This isn't about being mean and board wiping everyone's lands. This is about building up this big army with your commander at your side and then attacking, okay? Or getting like a non-infinite loop with aristocrats where like your commander's sacrificing them and you're doing that, or themed decks, right? This is 1. This is your precons, your conceptual idea of like, hey, my commander does A and let's mix it with B and it works, right? That's the concept. You're not running combos in an attempt to stop anyone. You're just... My cat is licking a bag. Stop licking the bag. It's not good for you. Knock it off, cat. I love her, but she's gonna hurt herself by licking the bag too much. Um, anyway, that's one. Very self-explanatory, okay? Two. Two is, well, okay, let's go over all the way to four, okay? Four, I'm pretty sure, I mean, like, so the idea of listing cards in four is like, these cards are a four, okay? They are completely welcome in four. Everything before that is completely allowed, right? But that's the thing. The reason you have numbers in four isn't because you don't want, isn't because, like, you need to know what's okay in four. Four is everything goes. But let's list some cards in four. What does the community think is a four? Let's have some community guidelines here. Let's talk out what is a four in Commander. What is a high power card? And what is a high power thought process, right? So a very high functioning, this is the deck, streamlined, this is how I win, right? Four is like, you pick out your win con and you build a deck around that, right? So like, I want to win with Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal combo because my commander has a tap ability that says tap draw a card, discard a card, and I can do that infinitely and then just cast Thassa's Oracle. That is a four mentality, right? That's what your deck wants to do. Now let's make it as easy as possible to get to that mentality, right? Let's do that. And what cards help you get there faster? Okay? That's what a four mentality is versus a one mentality. Okay, you're not building up your board state, you're just trying to combo off as fast as possible. Okay? Now I know Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal, it's not CD. I mean, like, there's some decks in CDH that can run it. It's not the end of the world to run two cards if you have the space, especially in lower color decks. But like, that's the idea, right? You have a streamlined, this is what I want to do mentality, okay? One, I just want to build my board state and then win eventually because my commander has some card advantage loop or works synergistically with my deck. Four, this is how I'm winning. Let's build a deck around it, okay? 2 and 3 is where it gets muddled, okay? This is where, like, okay, what is a 2 card, right? So if 4 cards are like 2 card combo pieces and fast mana, right? Like your 0-drop fast mana. What's 2 and 3? That's where I'm getting lost here, okay? Like, okay, is like 2 gonna be like good card advantages, or does that go to 3, right? Maybe 3 is card advantage engines, right? Annoying card advantage engines that trigger off your opponents, like Rhystic Study and the white one that makes you treasures, and like Esper Sentinel, and anything that's like whenever a player does this, you get that. And people like, I'm tired, I don't like that because every time I do something, I gotta pay more. And that's 3, right? 3 is that, like, okay, I don't like that. Or is that 2, right? Hey, you don't have to pay it. You can do that fine. 3 is stacks. We don't like stacks. We're pushing that all the way to 3, okay? So in my mind, if I was gonna split these up, okay? If anyone at Wizards of the Coast watches my little video here, okay? Number 1 here, this nice little 1 here, this guy here, this one. This one here would just be, I want to build a board state, and I want to just see where it goes. Some synergistic cards with my commander, right? Number 2 here, this number 2 here, 2 is going to be, okay, but I don't like card advantage engines in 1. Like, 1 card advantage engines that I have to constantly monitor. Yeah, this is the card advantages, right? Your Rhystic Studies, your Smothering Tithes, anything like that where you have to pay mana in order to stop them from getting card advantage, or maybe you can't even pay mana to stop them from getting card advantage. If that's like, that's 2, okay? Let's just not allow those cards, okay? But if you're at 2, you go ahead. You can run those cards, okay? 3 is going to be your stacks pieces. These are your heavy stacks pieces that no one likes playing against. Like, The 2 players. Oh, I love Ristic Study, but no, I don't like those rule of law effects. That's gonna stop me and slow my deck down. That's not fun at all. And then 4 is gonna be your fast mana, because no one likes it. And your 2-card infinite combos that just kind of win you the game. Okay, I'm not even putting 2-card infinite combos at 3. Okay, more than 2, go ahead. And I mean more than 2, not including your commander. Your commander's a 0 cards. So if you just need 2 cards to win with your commander, that's still 2 cards. So you need like commander and like 3 other cards is what I'm talking about. Or like 3-card combo. That's fine. That's fine in all of these. Because that's a fun, oh yeah, you got like a 5-card combo and you won. That's interesting. That's a board state, okay? One thing we have to talk about next is interaction, okay? Minimal interaction. More interaction, lots of interaction, okay? Free counter spells. Free interaction. That's 4. Or maybe actually 3. I'm not sure. It'll land in one of these 2. I don't think it deserves to be here. I don't think free interaction is going to be here, okay? And in fact, 3 could be the salt tier list. You know that EDH rec list where it says salt? They could literally use that, which is a community ran and voted upon list that just says, hey, we don't like these cards. And you could just put them in 3. Hey, this is the salt list. If it's a salt list, that's a 3. Okay? Most of the salt cards aren't even good. There are 4. Some of them are good, right? But like, if it's a salt list, it's a 3. Minimum. That's just where you put them. You put the salt list at 3. If you're 1 or 2, don't run the salt list. Okay? So that's what I would do. 1 is your fun board building. 2 is a little bit more interaction and a little bit more card advantage loops. 3 is your salt list. Yep, now you can run your salty cards. And 4 is your fast 2-mana combo stuff. CEDH now, which is my favorite part of Commander. I love all forms of Commander, each one of these. I love it. I love each one. But CEDH is exactly that. It's the competitive. And then you have TEDH. And TEDH is Tournament. Elder Dragon Highlight. Which is just a step above EDH, or CEDH, okay? But CEDH has always been defined by just taking your commander and putting it to the strongest it can be. Within reason, okay? For me, it's much more like, it's like taking 4, but like amping it up. It's like 4, but with a good commander, like, and like even better cards. And that's why I think they're gonna end up dividing it. I don't want them to be absolutely 100% crystal clear. I do not want them at all to cross that line. No, this whole thing, no, none of that. I want Commander to be the same format. Because the fun part of CEDH is to take that stupid rules here and that like, oh, we're banning a card because it's not fun at 1. It's not fun at any of these, right? Cool. Now it's not allowed in CEDH. Awesome. I think it's fun. Let's change up the format. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm taking apart that deck. Most of the cards can just go into this other deck. Let's try it out. I like that. I like the change. It's just how competitive formats work. Okay? But if they decide to, I don't know, listen to the CEDH format, I don't know if CEDH knows what they want. Okay? I don't. We'll see what happens there. But that's paint time with Izzy. Continuing here. For example, you could imagine a bracket. Bracket 1 has cards that easily can go in any deck, like Swords to Plowshares, Grave Titan, Cultivate, whereas Bracket 4 would have cards like Vampiric Tutor, Armageddon, and Grim Monolith. Cards that make games much more consistent, lopsided, or faster than the average deck can engage with. Okay? Okay, so here's the issue. Armageddon isn't a 4. Okay? Armageddon's not. Armageddon's a 3. Okay? Vamp Tour and Grim, that's fine. Those are 4s. Okay? I get it. Now, here's the thing. In this system, your deck would be defined by its highest bracket card or cards. This makes it clear what card goes where and what kinds of cards you can expect people to be playing. For example, if Ancient Tomb is a bracket 4 card and your deck would generally be considered a 4, or your deck would generally be considered a 4. But if it's part of a Tomb themed deck, the conversation may be, my deck is a 4 with Ancient Tomb, but a 2 without. Is that okay with everyone? This is the idea. Okay, now they even admit afterwards that while this system will this system guarantee perfect match games? No, and that might be fine at your table, but it gets the conversation started from a shared understanding that's already great for the table, okay? You pull an Ancient Tomb and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put it in my Tomb themed deck, okay? Or my colorless deck, and I just kind of need it there, right? If you're doing that, the fact of the matter is, the very simple fact of the matter is, like, it's fine. Like, I can see where they're trying to come at, right? So now you have a conversation started, right? Hey, my deck's a 2, right? Yes, I've got several cards that are ranked 2. I've got my Ristic Studies and my Tithes and my blue-white deck here. No infinite combos, mind you. And it's still built like a 2 deck, which is like a 1 deck just with some more card advantage cards. But I have an Ancient Tomb in here because it's a Tomb themed deck, right? Cool. Here's the thing with all of that. And so the idea here is just to talk about what makes a deck what power level, instead of having to sit there and question what makes a deck what power level. Sorry, my cat keeps being a little bit annoying. I wish I could just set her outside this room, but she doesn't get along with the other cat. So, that'll happen later tonight when I stream. Anyway, Ancient Tomb. Yeah, the major thing here, what comes down, what it all bundles up to be, is really simply just that. Now we know what cards are what. We know what does what, how does what, where does what, and you can have a conversation. You know, you can pull up the list. Hey, that's a 3 card. Like, I'm hoping people don't do the worst thing ever, which is like, whoa, you're running that card? You said your deck was a 2, and you have a 3 card in there, and the person's like, dude, the card swapped over like yesterday. Like, they can't do that, okay? They need to have a very defined for, like, these cards are this. I don't want, like, fast man is this. No, define it. Give me a list of cards. Maybe it's not a ban list. Like, here's the ban list, right? But aside from that, give me a list of cards so that when I build a 1 deck, I know what not to add to it. And I just won't add them. Okay? And then, you know, I don't want this, oh, it's a 4, but it's a 4 because there's an Ancient Tomb, but, like, without it's a 2. And you can have that conversation. No, just, I'm not even going to do that. You tell me what cards are allowed in what thing, and I won't put them in those things. And then I will have decks for each and every one of them. And I will love it. I will do it. That's fine by me to do it like that. But when you get into this muddly, like, oh, is that okay with you guys? You're going to have people go, oh, that's fine with me. No, that's not fine by me. And now you're like, okay, do I got to swap it out? Can I not play this deck? It's my only deck I have. I just happened to pull one. Oh, well, I guess you got to find a power 4 to play with. Because people are going to do that. And they're going to feel right to do that. And that's not the point, guys. The point is, just because you have 1 for it doesn't mean that it's not a 2 anymore. Okay? It's still a 2. It just happens to have a 4 card in there. So I guess don't put your 4 card in there. Keep it and make another 4 card deck. Or make a 4 card deck. Put it in, like, oh, you pulled an Ancient Tomb? Cool. Build a higher power deck, guys. We would love to hear what you all think about this and which power bracket you would play certain cards in. We will also be evaluating the current ban card lists alongside both the Commander Rules Committee and the community. We will not ban additional cards as part of this evaluation. While discussion of the banned list started this, immediate changes to the list are not our priority. They're just trying to save face there. For now, the safety and well-being of the rules community is the priority. What has happened in the past week is entirely unacceptable. By working together as a team, we can shoulder the responsibility of this format and everything that comes along with it. Please stay tuned for more to come. In the meanwhile, join us in Discord further, and then tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific PT, whatever that means. Yes. Okay. So, let's end this video here and just talk about this as a whole. Is this what anyone wanted? No. Is this what was going to happen eventually? Probably. Does this ruin Commander? No. It doesn't. Commander's not ruined. Everyone's going to continue playing it. It's the most popular format of the most popular card game in the world. It's still going to be played. It's still going to happen, guys. Okay? What is going to change is fully dependent on your local game store and how you want to read about, and how that your community wants to read the format. Okay? It can simply be that, like, the majority, you just have a vote. Once this all comes together and we have a nice simple format of, like, and we have this nice understanding, like, 3 months from now, right? Or a month from now if we go fast. And we have that understanding of, like, these are what these cards are, right? These fit here, here, and here. Then, excuse me. I'm going to just put the onus on the local game stores, okay? Your local game store, the owners should just do a very simple, hey, these are the different ones. What do people like? Okay? Do you want to keep it up to everyone's own discretion? Hey, this is what a 4 is. Now we can just kind of identify it better for everyone because we have that rules and set in place for discussion, making it easier for everyone to talk about. You can just do that, which would just be normal Commander, right? Or they can say, hey, is there a level people don't like here? And if the majority of the people, if everyone says, yeah, let's just keep this at 2 or lower, no one wants 3 or 4s, then they just go, okay, no one bring 3 or 4 cards to your decks, okay? 3 or 4 tier decks. We don't want them. They're not what we want here. If you do, we don't like that. And then anyone who comes around who has those type of power decks can't. And they'll make it very clear, hey, we're just a 1 and 2 power deck. We don't want anything more. If you are more, you're not going to be able to play here. Which isn't good for stores. They're not going to want that. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to segregate like that. Some stores probably will. But a lot of the stores are just going to keep it how it is, guys. You're just going to play Magic, and then, like, the only difference is, like, you'll know, like, there'll be, like, a list of cards that you can point at aren't fair and complain about. Because you decided to play a 1 power deck and you don't like any other cards outside of 1 power deck, and how dare someone play a 2 power card and a 1 power card because they don't pay attention to that. They didn't even realize any of this stuff was going on. They just wanted to play Commander. So, the optimist in me says, I think this will go fine. I think it's very nice to have, like, a set cards that should be played at specific powers. So I can have my CEDH deck and I can have my 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, like, cool. Build 4 decks, guys. But the other part of me sits there and goes, people are just going to use this to get more mad at each other. They're just going to do this whole thing where you go into play Magic at your local game store and you end up dropping down a cool card that you bought and you put it in your deck because it's synergistic, and oh, looks like it got added, like it changed because they sent out a new list for the changes, because every new set they're gonna be like having a discussion. Okay, let's test these cards out, and then like 2 weeks after the set comes out or a month after the set, they're gonna be okay, this is where these cards all rank. If they're 2, 3, or 4, everything else is a 1. You're good. And then you pulled a 4 out of the new box you bought, and you're just like, oh, well, My local game store doesn't like 4s. I can't play this card. Cool. But I don't want to play with 4s because my deck is genuinely like a 1. I just wanted to play this cool card. But everyone says it's a 4. My bad. So, I'm going to leave you off on that pessimistic note, honestly. Let me know what you guys think about this whole change down in the doobly-doo. I'm glad to be back. My wife and I just moved back. Maybe I'll make an update on stream tonight. Streaming from 8 to noon. 8 to noon. 8 to midnight. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Peace.